And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This scene of ours. What's going on? My name is Abel Taveras. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the channel on all platforms, whether that's Instagram, whether that's YouTube. What are the other platforms that we're on, Julie? YouTube, Instagram. TikTok. Tickety Talks and Talks and Ticks. And what else? That's
Facebook.
It? And we're starting Facebook. Well, we would have started Facebook already. So just make sure you're following, subscribing, and you're liking everything that we're doing. Jeffrey, how are you?
Good.
Good. Always just good. Nothing more, nothing less. Man of very few words. I feel like Mean Gene Okerlund when he would interview someone and when he would interview Goldberg, yeah, and he would just walk away. What's up, bro? How are you?
Good.
All right. Welcome back. Let's give me a nice cheers here. With our drinkies.
We're still around.
We're still around. That's what we've been told. We're still around. We haven't been kicked off yet, which is nice. How's everything going?
It's going. Hanging in there.
Hanging in there. All right. Me too.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. We are kind of in limbo because there's a few things that we want to talk about, and we're going to touch on a few different topics on today's episode. Shout out to Edwin. Shout out to Bree, who couldn't be here. They are busy. They have things going on, but we still love them and we support them. They have not been fired. They have not been canceled. They just don't happen to be here with us this week. But one thing that Jeff and I kind of talked about, we're going to talk about two different things. One thing is myth of the Congresses, right? Because there's a lot of myths being put out there about what it is that we do, how we do it, and what it actually produces. And then also, I want to talk about kind of music today. That's one thing we haven't talked about in a while. The music is the most important thing in what we do. My brother and I are huge proponents of like live music. We love live music. It is what drives us. It is kind of what's driven everything that we've ever done in this dance, right, Jeff? Is that safe to say? Easily. Because it is that important. So we're going to come back to that, and we're going to start off with some myths. Jeff, what is a myth? What do people presume about what we do and have absolutely no clue about what we do? Give me something that is like been like on your mind. What is kind of pressing for you right now?
So I get a lot. A couple episodes ago, I said that people compare the Congresses to what they felt versus what was real. And
nostalgia.
The feeling,
okay?
The feeling. You know what I mean? Because what you feel is one thing and what is real is something else.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, production-wise, you can't compare the Congresses today versus the Congresses 25 years ago.
In regards to production.
In regards to aesthetics.
Yes, the look of it.
Before you put up a $100 banner and you called it a day. Now there's a lot more that goes into it. So when people say like, oh, I remember how grand this used to look. No, I mean, they used house lights and they had a banner. Like, what goes into production now is night and day. But one thing I hear all the time is ridiculous number of shows. There was never this many shows before. Don't agree with that. To me, that's a myth.
You remember it being a lot more shows, or is it like even? Is it the same? Is it like where's your barometer at? Where do you think exactly it falls?
Let's do some math.
Okay, talk to me.
Okay, so New York Congress back in the days had about 20 shows. Fair?
Back in the day, okay, like can you give me a reference, like a year? You want to throw a year out there, or?
In 2010, we were number 33.
Okay.
We closed at number 33, and I remember in 2010, people saying like, wow, there's 33 shows, that many.
Mm-hmm.
When in my first year, there was 20, it was between 20 and 25 shows.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So I danced for Santo Rico for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Between Exhibición and between the pro team. Right?
Yeah.
Name a routine.
Yo-yo.
Yo-yo was 6.5 minutes long. Name another one.
Arrepentida.
Arrepentida was short. It was about Just under 4 minutes. Keep going.
What's the name of that song? The Blue Number.
Via.
Not Bria, the other one with the Exhibición one. You guys wore the blue and white shoes, the custom joints.
Carupano,
yes.
Carupano was about 4 minutes long.
Okay, Via. Let's go to Via because you mentioned it.
Via was about 5 minutes long. Keep going.
What about the lady routine?
Lady was 8 minutes long.
Okay.
We did eight because eventually we cut it. But in New York Congress, we did 8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes.
Yes, because we had Lady.
There was an intro to that.
And then we added the Mark Anthony, Mi Corazón. Yes. Okay?
Okay. So I guess the
keep
point...
going.
Well, you want me to keep going? Okay.
Give me like 3 more.
Give you 3 more. Players Club.
Players Club was about 5 minutes and change.
Okay. What about Avísale?
Avísale
because they did Avísale the New York Congress.
Avísale was 3 minutes and 40 seconds plus
the
an
intro.
So it's about 5 minutes.
Okay. So I think what you're trying to say is that there were less shows, but the shows were longer.
Correct.
So therefore, the time frame.
So if you're averaging now, most shows average about 2 minutes.
Yeah, just
back then, most shows averaged about 5 because people didn't cut music, and most songs are between 4 and 5 minutes.
Yes.
And some of the routines had intros. So if you're doing 20 shows at 5 minutes a show, that's 100 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. If your average time is, let's say, 2.5 minutes, and you do 40 shows, it's pretty much the same
thing.
And what I'm saying is that there's a lot of shows that are 2 minutes because competition, your shows are between a minute and a half and 2.5 minutes. Those are the rules, right? For Summit and most competitions. So most solos and things like that are under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, when I used to do like solos, like, we were competing in the solo amateur division, Kiara, stuff like that. I always tried to keep the routine under 2 minutes.
Got it.
Right?
I see the logic. Your math is mathing.
So what I'm saying is that regardless of how we look at it, right, the time frame is just about the same.
But what we're saying is that there are just more shows now. Yes. There's more people exposed, which makes sense because it's growing.
Right. But now the shows are less time. And back then, the shows were way longer.
So let me ask you a question because we've had a few guests talk about them feeling that the shows were better, right? Is it they feel that the quality was better?
Back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you and I both disagree that the quality is better now.
The quality is better now. What happens is this. There's going to be a lack of authenticity. Of course, because you're just exposed to too much, right? So here's what happens. What happens is that before, right? And we actually talked about this episode 6, scene 6.
Okay.
But we never put scene 6 up, so nobody's really seen it.
Yeah, the lost tapes.
That's the lost one. That's the only episode we didn't put up because we felt we went a little too far. But what ends up happening is that you have these social media outlets that put out material, right? So whether it's salsa or not, it's hip hop, ballroom, whatever, you see material, you like it, and you incorporate it into what you're doing. And did that happen before? Not as much, but it happened.
Yes.
It happened because you would you could go and travel and see it in Europe, and nobody in New York saw it, so you just used it yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Now it's different because it's out and it's out there for the whole world to see. So what ends up happening is you start taking ideas, which is natural in what we do, right?
Is that emulating or is that stealing?
It's both.
Okay.
It's emulating and it's stealing.
How are both things true at the same times for you?
Because it's not something you came up with yourself.
Okay.
Right? So in that sense, it's stealing. But at the same time, I mean, this is what dance is.
Inspiration.
Dance is inspiration from other dances that leads to other dances. And that's been true forever. like whether artists want to admit it or not, I mean, this has been true since dance started. There's nothing that is in its original state. Everything is a fusion or a progression or evolution of something that we have seen before.
So we're quoting Nas. No ideas original. There's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done.
Yeah, okay. Correct. There's nothing new, you know. When I danced in SR, like Thomas would say, "Oh, spinning came from me," but you could go and watch Argy and Margot in the Palladium, and they're doing corkscrew spins and they're doing multiple spins. So, is it really new? No, it wasn't new. It was done back then. It's just things come and they fade, and then they come back, and you're responsible for the comeback, and then it kind of dies out again, and it's just that's just kind of the nature of this game, right? Like it's just how this is played.
Okay.
It's different than like in sports, because in sports, the goal never changes. If you're a baseball player, you're trying to hit the ball out the park, you're trying to score runs, you're trying to strike people out. That doesn't change. Strategy changes a little bit, and then evolution happens because of information. That's why. So now the dance is flooded with information. So in that sense, yeah, some of the creativity disappears.
Do you feel let me make sure I word this right. The prevalence of information is a positive or a negative for what we do?
It's a positive.
Okay.
It's not negative. It's a positive. I think it's unfair. Nothing is fair.
What do you mean it's unfair, right?
So
because when you say the information is more prevalent, I think it's more universally accessible, which means that there should be more fairness. No? It evens out the playing field that we all kind of know the same thing.
Well, imagine you come up with a new move that no one has done.
Okay.
Right? Which happens. You come up with a new turn pattern that nobody's done, and it's on YouTube, and then in a week you see somebody else doing it.
Yeah.
Is that fair? You don't get credit for it. You don't get rewarded for it. Is it fair? Is that what it is? It is what it is. It's just like it's just the nature of what we do.
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, like, you're gonna have people that that's gonna upset them. That's gonna hurt them. And in the end, what it comes down to is dancing is just not enough. It's just not, regardless of what people think, right? Dancing is not. I get people throw their resumes at me all the time. Oh, I want to come to your event. I want this. I want that. You got to understand, I've been dancing my whole life. I've been training my whole life. I deserve to be compensated. I deserve to be this. I deserve to be that. And at the end of the day, it's like, the question is, if I put your name on the flyer, you're going to sell seats.
Yeah.
If the answer is not yes, then nothing that you're saying is really relevant. What it comes down to after that is, do I want to hire you for other reasons? But at the end of the day, like, if nobody shows up, you still expect to get paid.
So I think what you're talking about is the intangibles, right? Because I think what we can agree on is that everybody's good at dances. What are the intangibles that you bring to the table that set you apart, which makes me or kind of puts me in a position where I need to want to make you a part of what I'm doing?
And listen, we started doing this podcast.
Haphazardly, by the way, I will say. We're hot in the street, as the kids call it these days.
Well,
Julie gets very upset at me when I tell her that in our group chat.
Here's the thing, right? It's sometimes, like something like this, right? I wanted to do it. And, once you're in it, like you said before, you're in it. So you start doing things, you buy a light, and then it's like, one is not enough. I need another one. I need this, I need that. You start investing in it. I want a logo, so you invest in the logo. This is not something made. Like I had someone make this for us, right? And you do your first video, and you get 100 views.
We were hyped.
And we were super excited
I couldn't believe it.
when we got 100 views.
I don't know 100 people.
Right? So you do your first video, you get hyped, and then, we kept going, and then it was like 300, 400, 500, and we just kind of hung out there between 400 and 700 views for most of our videos. And then one video hit 1,000, and then the next one hit like 3, and then the next one hit 5, and then, now we're in the 20s, right? Like we're over the 20s now.
And we're thankful.
And we're thankful. But here's the point, right? And I just want to correct a lot of artists, because I hear this a lot too. And you're wrong. And I'm going to be honest. This is not an opinion, right? To get to 1,000 views, you have to learn about this. Because there's a lot of salsa podcasts that are good and don't have views.
Yeah.
So you got to educate yourself on this.
There's a lot of podcasts in general that don't have views, that are really good, and
right. And we're not successful yet, but like my first real goal is to get to 100,000 views on a video, and we're not there yet. But what I'm saying is that this takes skill. To do the right thing on social media, that takes skill.
Yeah. Right? There's a talent in that, yes.
There's a talent in that.
For sure.
So artists will go, oh, these people are just getting hired because they have a bunch of followers. They're not real dancers. And it's like, if you want to be a successful dancer, right, you have to be a good dancer, and you got to be a good business person. And the new business model is this. So when you say that you need both, right? You can't be a good business person and not be able to dance. Or you can't be a good dancer and not have good business. You need both. To do this, you need both, right? So to say, well, they just got a bunch of followers. Well, no, they're understanding the business better than we are, right? And you and I have been actually missing that boat for years. I remember, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I went to an event I went to the Baltimore event. It wasn't that packed. And I did 5 workshops, post-COVID, right out of COVID. I did 5 workshops. And, they told me, hey, we want you to come and do this, and we want you to be the salsa headliner. And I was like, all right. And I went, and, my first class, packed. My second class, packed. Third, packed. The last day, I was like, ain't nobody coming today. And that one was packed. The only class that wasn't packed was the musicality. Like I did like a counting class, but that's a whole other story for another day. Either way, I went next door and someone did a workshop. There was 5 people in there, but they had a camera person. And they had a really cool setup, and they got the feet, and the person did their demo, and I looked, and I was like, damn, it looks like they put a lot into it. And the next day I see IG, and this demo looked ridiculous. I was like, wow. Now, I had, 200 people in my workshop. They had 5. Doesn't matter. That video looked way better than the video I produced.
Yeah.
Right? And I learned the lesson that day. And, like if I really get back into the circuit, I realize the importance, Dejan and Claude. Like, you want to hire them, you got to bring their social media person, because they understand the value in that. And, shout out to them. But that is something that if you're not incorporating it into your business plan, then you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Because
it's something that you need. So
it's a new world we live in. It's a new way to communicate.
It is. And it's a new way to conduct business. Like if you're not conducting business like this, you're in trouble, right? So there has to be a change, and you have to evolve with this, because if not, it's gonna leave you, and then you're just gonna be bitter about it.
I got you. No, listen, I think that's an interesting take because even when I do like my people watching on social media and I watch the shows, like I'm super hyper focused on the videos that are posted from the different events, from the different dancers. Like I'm very much in tune and paying a lot of attention into the way it's produced, the way that it looks, the vibe of it, because it kind of gives you a perception of the material also. Like some artists are literally producing like almost like a music video of their routine and posting it online now too, which is a huge marketing component in terms of what we're seeing, right? Because now you can edit it, you can cut it, and literally get the actual essence that you want across to the audience without having to have them in front of you.
Correct.
Now I think there's issues with that also because
There is.
I think that a produced video with editing and all this stuff and a live version of the show have two very, very different effects.
Yeah.
But the social media is capturing me enough where I'm like, oh, this shit looks really good. This shit looks fire.
Yeah.
And it gets my curiosity going for sure.
There's a show that I saw once that I loved, and then I saw it live, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? But there's I don't have, my eyes cannot go to the right and the left, and no, I see the show right in front. So at the end of the day, like, you almost set yourself up by creating these camera angles and doing all of this stuff, and then the show not living up to the same. So I had to kind of move away from the show, and then I saw it again a year later, and I was like, oh, I do like this routine. This is a good number.
Yeah.
But it does give you a sense of false hope. But nonetheless, like, it's still very important to make this part of your business plan, right? And like I said, what I disagree with artists is they're like, oh, you know, this person's just getting hired because they have followers, and it's like, well, they work on that. Like, content creators work on this all the time, right? I don't have the patience to really do that. That'd be difficult for me.
Ain't that the truth?
But content creators are creating content all the time, and this is why they're successful. It's not a mistake. It's hard work like anything else. It's just we may not respect it, but take a day. You know, I had to edit videos for this show, and you realize that takes a lot of time.
I don't think it's that we don't respect it. I just don't think we're just as interested in it. So
Yeah, well, I think it's both.
Right? I think that this requires a specific discipline that is...
Well, you and I know that because we
Yeah.
have a studio, we have 2 events, we have
Yeah.
a podcast, so we understand that.
There's a
But
discipline.
there's a lot of dancers that when they talk to you, it's like, they're like, oh, you know, now because you have followers, you get hired to an event. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's free advertisement.
Yeah, and listen, even me, because I attempted to become a social media superstar, and it didn't work for me. When I ran the New York City Marathon a few years ago. Shout out to everybody who ran the marathon a few weeks ago. Welcome to the 1% of the population. But I actually it's funny because I didn't even. What'd you say?
Go shit in a hat.
I'll be honest, like I didn't even think about capturing any of this, and my boss at the time. Shout out to Chief Austin. He was like, yo, Abe, do you have a GoPro? And I was like, no. And he's like, dude, you got to go buy a GoPro and capture all this. And I had no idea. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that...
That's like childcare stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we have children in the game now. So we have to make sure to keep the phones on in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
All right? And my mom is real old school. So she's not going to send a text message because she don't know how to do that. She's going to call. So just PSA. But anyways... When I did it, I captured so much footage that I have of me doing like other runs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I actually ran the marathon with my GoPro going. And what did I do with that? I spent 20 minutes trying to edit this. Para mierda. I just couldn't. I didn't have the patience.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's a discipline that is required. Like, you got to really like this and be into this. And, sometimes it's harder to do the editing than it is the running. To run the 12 miles and then to stay home and edit it, I'd rather run the 12 miles.
26 miles. But
no, I'm talking about like the train. Like,
the
I ran,
training.
26.2 if we're going to be serious. But like the idea of sitting back and spending the hours in front of a computer and editing it and da 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 and like voice recordings. I try to do that. I sat in my bathroom one night and I was like doing recordings.
In your bathroom.
Yeah, for TikTok. And then it was just kind of you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like,
What a loser.
yo, and it's not a loser because I was doing it. It's more a loser just because I couldn't get it. And that is discouraging and it turns you off and you want to do some shit else.
Got you.
So I get totally where you're coming from with that. And shout out to all the people that are curating content and that are becoming social media superstars, because there are people within our scene that are kind of passing that threshold and getting there. And even now, like, yo, we're getting more views in the video. It's kind of weird for me. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, that's something I definitely, like, it's very weird to think that people want to hear what we have to say. I know you love listening to me, but
No,
I don't think anyone else loves listening to me the way that you love listening to me.
You're all right.
I'm fantastic.
You're okay.
But I think that's a great point that you drive. And you know what? So, like, does that make you want to work more on your social media stuff and get you really, really hot in the streets, or no?
Not my personal social media stuff, but social media for this, yeah. Like,
Okay.
I want this to do well. I think, listen, again, passion project, right? Like, there was no, I never looked at it like, I say, yo, look, we like to shoot.
We
the
like to
shit.
talk.
We like to talk.
Yeah.
People
Love to
seem
listen.
interested in what we have to say. And you know what? I've never talked before, right? I've never, ever said anything. And some things I've wanted to give my opinion. Some things I've been upset about. Some things have made me angry, right? But I've never, ever really talked. I did this for years, and I only talked with people in my immediate circle or people that challenged me with certain things, or but I've never really shared any of my experience, and I never even documented. I never took pictures. Like, I don't really have pictures of me traveling.
It's crazy. We don't have pictures of any of this stuff.
But I work at Newtown, and the other day they hit me up and they're like, "Listen, we're trying to put a wall because they just redid the gym.
Okay.
So next week they're gonna have
Grand opening.
a grand opening.
Well, yeah.
So they want like old alumni to come. And I was captain of the baseball team and he was captain of the baseball team, and we did some cool things while we were there.
Special note, my brother's number was,
And high school 54.
and mine was 45.
Yeah. It was 54 because that was my football number.
Yeah.
So I actually platooned between 30 and 54 in high school, and then in college I wore number 30. So they said, can you bring us a picture of you playing high school baseball so we could put it up? And I don't have one picture. It's like it never happened. I don't have one picture.
Yeah.
I have a few newspaper articles that mentioned me or they interviewed me or whatever, but I don't have any pictures. I actually have a picture of you playing.
Yeah.
But I have two pictures of you that I believe the Daily News took or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But I have those two pictures, but I don't have one picture.
Thanks for flexing for me.
Yeah, I don't have one picture of me playing high school baseball. When I traveled, I never took pictures. I don't have anything documented. What I do have is my stories and my experiences. So I like to share, and I welcome all of it because not everything is accepted.
Amen. And this is therapeutic. Jeff always says that, this is like therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to kind of get on that wave with you in terms of the therapy.
I've seen.
We save a lot of money here instead of paying it to someone else.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. When we start getting negative, when we really start getting negative stuff, we'll see.
I want to
how you
get
handle it.
negative mail because I want to do like when Jimmy Kimmel, when they read like the mean tweets, I want to read the mean messages live about us on the air. You suck. I can't wait to read those.
Yeah. So
Good stuff, man. I appreciate that. This was a good conversation. I like kind of where it went. I wanted to talk a little bit about something else, but I thought this was a good point to make because Like, yo, the social media is the new communication. It's the new forum. It's the vessel. It's the most important one now too. Everything we're doing is through social media. And even me, I work with kids now, and all their communication is through social media. They only communicate through some sort of medium that utilizes the internet, and it's a very big change. We used to go to events; they wouldn't even let you bring a camera in, and now
Well, we used to take classes and they didn't let you bring.
they didn't let you record. The only person that was able to record was Daniel Enscat. He's got all the videos. Daniel, and he texted me, he messaged me about that. He said, I still have the videos and I would love to share them with you. I was like, yo, Daniel, send that library over because he has a lot of stuff still.
People wanted to protect their stuff. Like they didn't want, they didn't want you stealing their stuff. Like that's how they felt. But, now it's all out there, right? It's just like, again, gift and a curse with everything because I think back to when I danced with SR, right? We debut a routine once a year, and we would debut it in a foreign country, and then we'd come back and we'd get hired to go somewhere else. And then the people in New York would be like, yo, I heard you guys have a new routine. Like, I heard you guys have this.
Yeah.
But New York wouldn't get to see it. You understand?
Yeah, I know.
Because there was no videos out there.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on.
That was what gatekeeping was back in the day.
But now it's like, now you do a new number.
And shit's on Instagram that night. It's
right.
like
and that's, it's a gift and a curse because if the routine is really hot, maybe you want it, but at the same time, like, there's no exclusivity. So, by the time your event comes around, that routine may be played out. And
ain't that the truth?
And it doesn't matter anymore.
And it doesn't, you know what? It doesn't hit the same for the audience. Mm-hmm. Which I think is the, I don't know. I feel like there's been I feel like I remember liking like the enjoyment of going to see the shows and the excitement of going to see the shows. I feel like that's kind of lacking right now in our community. And I also think the reason why that's happening is because everything is so readily accessible on social media that you don't want to go and sit there and experience it together with everybody else.
Well, it's all right. I might as well throw this out there too, right? I think I kind of mentioned this, but artists, right? Artists go perform at a social.
Okay.
Right? So at the social, you go do, I don't want to mention any social, but let's say you go do one of the Saturday socials or Fridays. And the promoter goes, listen, I'm going to give you $200, come perform on my social. And you look at it like, all right, I'm going to go make a quick $200. You go do the show and you leave. Now you get called for a Congress. So, well, it's a Congress. I can't charge $200. I have to charge $1,500. See the difference?
Yeah.
So what's the logic behind that? Right? So let's play devil's advocate. What is the logic for you to charge $200 for a social and $1,500 for a Congress?
The logic is that one is bigger and I can, more importantly. I can charge you this.
Because it's bigger.
Yeah. That would, again, this is my presumption.
I'm telling you to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
So,
I can.
Okay, so wait. Let's go back.
Okay.
Okay, because I want people to see this. Who makes more money, a Congress or a social?
I know the answer to that.
Okay, you're playing devil's advocate. You're the other team.
The other team's going to say, well, you're the Congress, so you make more money.
Correct. So, if you do an event in New York City, you're going to pay anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 at most. $2,000 on the high end. Unless Adolfo rents it to you. Because I heard somebody say he charged them 50% of the door, which is high. But that's what they told me. I don't know if it's true or not. So it's not a quote, but that's what I heard. But you're going to pay between $1,000 and $2,000, right? Yeah?
Yeah, $1,000, $2,000 to rent the space.
So let's say $2,000 on the high end.
Yeah.
Okay? So now the prices are $20 a head and $30 at the door.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's say 100 people pay ahead at $20. And let's say 30 people pay at the door. Right? 100 people pay at the door at 30. So let's say 200. Because socials may not be doing 400 people anymore. Right? So that's 2,000 plus 3,000. That's 5,000.
Okay.
Right? You pay 2 to the door, so you make 3. You pay 1,000 to the artist, you make 2. Does that sound right?
1,000 to the artist.
Let's say $1,000 in all the artists that you pay
Oh,
for.
okay. Yes. All the performers.
And
Yes.
all the expenses.
Got it.
So you're gonna take about $2,000 for your pocket.
Yes.
This is all on the low end, because I'm sure places are most people are getting the places for cheaper.
Yeah.
Most people are getting closer to 300 people, like those things.
Yeah.
Right. So you're pretty much making 100%, pretty much.
Yeah, just about.
More or less, right? You're making 100%. There's no Congress that makes 100% of what they sell, of what they spend. Nobody, not even close, not even 50%. Meaning if you spend 200,000,
You're not making 200 on top.
you're probably not making one.
You're not making. Yeah, you're right. 100%.
You're not making 100 grand.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, even though we're dealing with less money, at the end of the day, socials make more money than Congresses. But your price is out of whack, because you look at it like there's a lot more people.
Got it. You're right.
You understand where I'm getting at?
I know exactly what you're getting at.
Right? So it's go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say you're right. I feel you
Right.
knocking.
So so now let's tie this into our conversation. So now you go do that social for 200, and the next day you do this social, then you do that social, then you do that social, then you do that social, then I call you for my event and you want 15. But me as a customer, I just saw you 3 days in a row. So what is my incentive to really go see you?
Yeah.
I saw it on YouTube first, and then I already saw it, and I saw it again, and I saw it again. So now I'm at the Congress, and I'm taking workshops all day, and it's like, yo, AJ's performing, but I just saw him 3 nights in a row. It's not a big deal. I'll just go to bed and come down for the social. You see the difference?
Yeah.
That's a big difference. So at the end of the day, as a Congress owner, you're not winning the way that a regular social promoter is winning.
Got it.
Because they're getting you on, when people are actually looking to go see you. Right? Yo, put up an announcement that Charlie and Scarlett are gonna debut, and you're gonna fill a social. Put them on the Congress. It's like, yo, I already saw them at Sasamania. I already saw them at, Engel's social. I already seen them. It doesn't have the same value.
Got it.
Right? So that's an issue that promoters are struggling with artists, because before there was exclusivity. You didn't perform locally. So it was a big deal for you to perform at the Congresses. But if, you already burned yourself out and you're doing this, then how do I justify what you're asking for? Right? And then I'm also thinking, like, I know that they're not paying you what you're asking me to pay you, so why should I do it? Right? It's a tough battle, and it's not easy to see it from either side.
So let me ask you a question as a director. Do you put the routine out there, tú lo suelta, or do you want to hold it back?
When I first started, I wanted to hold it back.
Okay.
But it was wrong, because at that time, everybody was putting everything out.
Okay.
Right? So you can't really do that anymore.
So you're saying that this is just a new wave of how things are done.
This is how things are done, and at the end of the day, like, it doesn't help the market for dancers. It hurts the dancers. does it hurt the promoters? No, because the promoters can now justify why not to hire you.
Yeah.
So it's not that I do it. I mean, at the end of the day, I try to give New York workers, especially, as much work as I can, right? I try, as long as they're reasonable. Sometimes I feel they're not reasonable, especially since promoters talk. I mean, we talk. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but we talk. You hear it. You know what the deal is, right? So if we talk and you highball me, right, then I have to think about whether it's worth me paying that or not.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't care what your reason is. I really don't. When I took over for Edwin in New York, dancers would like throw that in my face all the time. Like, oh, those are Edwin prices, they're not yours. And I would be, in my mind, I would be like, yeah, I get it, but maybe I'm not willing to pay Edwin's prices. Like, have you thought about that?
Yeah.
Like, or maybe I wasn't willing to pay that price to begin with.
Or maybe it's an accommodation that we're not really willing to make. Accommodation that we're not willing to make.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I know we talked about the rooms in one of the episodes, but like some people just want certain things and then go to a different event and they will accept whatever the event is doing for them.
And that's what I mean. Like, that's part of my issue, right? Because I'm like, well, if the market is not paying that for you, why would you expect me to pay it? Right? Like, that's not
reasonable.
I'm consistent when I charge. What I charge you is what I charge the other person. And if I charge you more, right, I accommodate that. Which is a game changer. Right? Because you could charge whatever you want. If you paint a picture for me that makes sense, then whatever. Right? If you tell me like, yo, I want 10 grand to come to the event, and I go to you, what are you gonna give me? And you're like, well, 2 shows and 2 workshops like everybody else, then I'm not gonna pay that. But if you say, yo, I'm gonna charge you 10 grand, but I'm gonna give you this, and I look at it and I go, oh shit, there's a return on my investment.
Yeah.
Then that makes sense. But my whole thing is like, why would I overpay you, like, when you're doing this for this person? And they say, oh, well, you're New York. And it's like, yeah, well, that's great, but you're doing this other event, and this other event is my competition. So now you're looking out for them. I'm New York. You should be looking out for me.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of one of those things.
Or not even look out for me, just be reasonable.
What?
All right? Instead of, I don't...
Well, no. That's not what... I don't actually mean look out for me. But again, if I charge...
But just to have that caveat out there.
This person 500 and I charge you 1,000.
Yeah, that's not reasonable.
That
right? And
make sense.
that's eso cogiendo provecho. Mm-hmm. And that's not good. So don't take advantage, ladies and gentlemen, because we all talk.
We do talk. I hear promoters, like, those of you that hook up certain promoters, I hear them. What you pay for them? Hell no. I would never pay that. They getting this and that's it. Yeah. I'm like, damn, how'd you swing that? No, I just told them. Yeah. Then it's like, damn, it's fucked up. Like,
I should just tell them too.
Huh?
I should just tell them too.
Yeah, I mean, we pay attention to all of it, right? Like we all do. We pay attention and we fish and we do that because at the end of the day, we don't want to feel hurt either. Like, just like how you don't.
Yeah, and it's a lot. We're spending a lot of money on this shit.
Yeah.
Jeff, great conversation, my friend. How do you feel about it?
I'm gonna be honest. This just felt like a regular talk. I still don't know what your plan was for today.
Well, I think we just achieved it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
That's
don't know
how
how.
good I am. You don't even know what happened. Eso fue que yo te sobé la cabeza, así.
When are you gonna
Rock
get
you.
canceled for real?
I don't know, bro. I mean, maybe it comes after this. I don't know. I had some choice words for our community. It is what
What's
it
your
is.
feedback, man?
What's my feedback? I don't know. Maybe we should ask the people what they think about what I said, and then come and read it. It's hard for me to speak for everyone. I can only speak for myself, and sometimes for you. All right, and only when Jaden sees that singer that we both like on television, I know what he's thinking. I can speak for him freely.
Which singer is that?
Julie, what was the one on New Year's that he kept staring at on the TV, and I was staring at on the TV, and that we stared at together on the TV? She was hot. I know what he likes. I know Miss Rachel. Me and Jay
Miss
have
Rachel.
different-
My son likes Miss Rachel.
I know. I like Miss Rachel too. If you're out there listening, Miss Rachel.
She's married and she has a baby.
Oh my God. I don't mean it to marry her and her relationship. I'm just saying we appreciate what you do for the children. Guys, thank you very much. Make sure you follow, you like, and you subscribe on all our platforms. Again, YouTube, again, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that. We're getting our numbers up. We're super duper excited you guys are watching. We hope you enjoy it. We also want to know what you guys think. So send us messages. Let us know.
We're gonna do
Give us feedback.
a couple of response episodes coming really, really soon.
Yeah, we apparently have some good content and good things that you guys have sent in to us. Keep sending it us in. Let us know first of all who you want us to interview. Right, we want to know who you guys want to interview. We want to make sure to get them up here. We are open minded. We would love to have an eclectic amount of guests. We don't want to just to be who we like. We want it to be who you guys like too, and whoever you guys want to learn about. And then also, you guys have any questions? Make sure you ask. We've been getting good questions also. And we don't kind of shy from them. So when you guys have something that might be a little bit uncomfortable, we're going to address it as best as we can. Jeff, give me your social media again.
Jeff Huracan.
Jeff Huracan. Shout out to Edwin, who couldn't be here today. Edwin's been a little bit busy. He's got things going on. Shout out to Bree, who was also our co-guest who couldn't be here today. Another one who has stuff going on. But nonetheless, I want to thank you for spending some time with me. You didn't have as much of your beer as I did because you were in deep thought, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Yo, by the way, if anybody's interested in merch, Jeff's been wearing the This Scene of Ours shirt, right? We got the cups. You know, you've probably seen us with the Scully hat on. If anybody's interested in merch, let us know because someone did ask about that, and I said, I promise I'll make sure to bring it up in the episode. If anybody's interested in merch, that might be coming
We'll have a
soon
link soon
for you guys. We'll have a link soon for you guys. All right. Again, like, follow, subscribe. This Scene of Ours. Thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.